You may be aware of an organization called the Institute of Noetic Science. It's called IONS for short. And this organization today scientifically studies the evolution of consciousness, and it all began with Teilhard de Chardin's work. Just several weeks ago, I was with Jean Houston at the IONS Retreat Center in Northern California. It's a beautiful place. And they have many fabulous speakers. If you ever feel called to travel to that part of the country and attend a retreat, just go online. They have amazing, I mean, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, if you had all the time and money in the world, you'd just spend months there. Just taking it all in and going for long walks in the labyrinth in the woods, and then go back and gain from another wise and learned person, and you bring your wisdom to it as well. It's a transformational, interactive experience there. Well, that's who she knocked over. So a couple days later, she's walking her little fox terrier along, again near Central Park, and she runs into Mr. Terry again. And so for the coming year, they spend the better part of the next year taking walks together 2 to 3 times a week. And she was always calling him Mr. Terry. She knew nothing about him other than he was constantly falling in love. That's what she witnessed. He was constantly falling in love with everything. Speaking for Jean. I remember one time he suddenly fell on his knees, his long Gaelic nose raking the ground, and exclaimed to me, "Jean, look at the caterpillar! Ah!" I joined him on the ground to see what had evoked so profound a response that he was seized by the essence of caterpillar. "How beautiful it is," he remarked. "This little green being with its wonderful, funny little feet. Exquisite. Little furry body, little green feet on the road to metamorphosis." He then regarded me with equal delight. "Jean, can you feel yourself to be a caterpillar?" "Oh, yes," I replied, with the baleful knowing of a gangly, pimply-faced teenager. "Then think of your own metamorphosis." What will you be when you become a butterfly? Un papillon, eh? What is the butterfly of Jean? And she writes parenthetically, "What a great question for a 14-year-old girl." Can you feel yourself to be a caterpillar? And what will you be when you become your butterfly? Mr. Teilhard always saw the interconnectedness of everything. He saw the connection and relationship between the caterpillar and the butterfly, and somebody's red hat, and a little boy playing in the park, and the mind of God. And everything was personal and alive to him. Everything. One day he's with Jean, he called her Jean, and they're walking in Central Park along the riverbed, and there was a rock wall. And on the rock wall he saw this crystalline, flaking stone. And he went up to it and he addressed the rock. And he says, "Ah, my friend, the mica schist. Do you remember when?" You see, mica schist is a very old stone, and it has seen so much history. And Jean swore that she saw the mica schist begin to glimmer back at him. Now this it will do on a sunny day, if you've ever seen mica schist. But this day was cloudy. He engaged everything, and everything engaged him. He was constantly falling in love with everything. He felt connected to everything. Don't you want to feel connected to everything? Jesus and all the other mystics of time have taught that our first responsibility is to love God with all our heart, all our soul, and all our mind. But how do you love God? By falling in love constantly with life. By falling in love constantly with life. By talking to the trees, talking to the wind, talking to the rock, talking to the caterpillar. And then listening